Spider, spider, here comes Spider, CFL's Red Zone Rule. Hit it! I'm back! I feel like I'm so far away. You wonder probably if I'm dead or not. I had my funeral. Died and went to heaven. Anyway, rock and roll heaven. I don't know. I guess since Burton Cummings is still alive, I gotta keep going. Anyway, I know I haven't been back since over 2 months. I know, and if I don't get back, I said, despite the humidity, which is insane in Halifax right now, I'm sorry for a washed out picture there. I can adjust a little bit of contrast there. You know, like, I know I have nobody watching if I don't get back. So I know I've been through a lot. I don't want to get into it, but I've been through a lot in the last 2 months. But anyway, and anyway, it's summer. You know, cheers. And actually, that's Labatt's because the schooner beer. You know, even though I'll put them out. You know, to see if we have some hope because my next session is going to be on what's going on with the Mickey Mouse prefabricated modular Derek Martin CPL special. Only 500 seats. Imagine. I'm going to get into that. It's an absolute joke. Like, anyway, we're spread out. Give it a little bit of schooner, beer, some little bit of love. Why not? You know, that's pretty nice. I never did it like that before. Anyway, and my CFL Red Zone Rule, get that out here. We're going to have some fun here. Why not? And that's in the riders thing in the way. So, we'll take, you know, it's hard to get everything. It's really hard on the monitor, you know. Anyway, here we are. There's toast. There's a cold beer right now. Why not? That I'm back. Spider's alive. Just be glad you're alive. My song, I was gonna, like I said, play next set of, hopefully play one of mine off my Wild Spider, Art of the Spider album I did in my 40s. Long time ago. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today, okay, the Stampeders in Ottawa tonight, the protocol for, you know, that wasn't much of a hit. I mean, they tried a sandwich in Montreal. The referees are brutal. They're all for Montreal. They've been screwing Calgary Stampeders, I'm telling you. It's like this guy Johnston, he's in Brozy 2.0. He's very political. He's not going to do anything. He hasn't acknowledged my Spider CFL Red Zone Rule presentation because he's got to be pompous like Randy Brozy because look at the number he did on me. But you know, Brozy, you didn't do a number on me. You did a number in yourself. You know, you can't even look at yourself in the mirror. And this guy's not going to be much better because the Canadian ratio has to go. Look at BC Lions, how horrible they are. They got to, I mean, York, he's struggling, no O-line. And look at the teams now scrambling to sign Canadian players because of the Canadian ratio. All their players are going down. They're scrambling, trying to sign players like rookies that or third, fourth weight CIS or players that were at camp that like, oh my God, the CFL, they're going to go down. They're going to go down. The Canadian ratio has to go. That's why that Edmonton is so weak. It's not because of Trey Ford's not ready. It's because of the Canadian ratio. That's the reason. Same with the Bombers. They're terrible. I mean, nothing against, no, I don't want to talk about him anyway, but you can't have a Canadian ratio and these players that have no business being on a Canadian, a CFL field, and like half the roster got to be Canadian. Doesn't matter if they're no good or not. They don't have to make the team. They're guaranteed they're half the roster spots and starting spots, 8, not 7. And look, it's just Toronto's no good because of it. Montreal, well, they're okay. They're pretty good defensive, but the thing is, there's very few teams. Half the teams are really no good in the CFL. And it's 9, so that's like 4.5. No, at least 4 of them are horrible. Probably more. 5. You know, Saskatchewan's good, but they get injuries to the key Canadian players. They're done. Same with all the teams. Look at Toronto, how horrible they are. Hamilton's coming on now, but they were no good at start. They're coming on. Ottawa's horrible. Edmonton's horrible. Winnipeg right now are looking pretty bad because of the Canadian ratio. It's a Canadian ratio. They're not allowed to recruit the best O-linemen to protect their investment. Even Herbie said that. Okay, general manager Ed Herbie said that. He said a while back on about the Canadian, I don't care if they're American, Japanese, Canadian, whatever they are. I want to be able to play my best old linemen and be able to recruit them to protect my investment. You can't do that in the CFL. You can't play the best linemen. You can't play the best receiver. You can't play the best players. Defensive. You can't play because they're playing more than 8. They're playing 10 because of injuries. It's just unbelievable. The CFL is getting more and more diluted. Practice time is brutal. 4.5 hours a day. That's counting travel time and meeting sessions. It's a joke. The NFL's double that. 8 hours a day. It doesn't count travel time and meetings. It's just unbelievable what's going on. And does it ever show on the field? The referees are brutal. The flags are absolutely terrible. They're calling any big play they call back at a punt return. It's just the holding calls and it's just unbelievable. The flags, Canadian flag football. Listen, I don't watch the NFL. It's not that I'm shitting on the CFL. I'm just giving you the facts. It's reality. It's what's going on. And I've been saying that all along. The CFL has to get rid of the Canadian ratio. It has to go. The whole thing has to go. None of this bullshit. If you want to put some Canadian players on a roster, a practice roster, put them on, have them develop it to make the team. Okay? That's what you do. And to start. They have to earn their roster spot and their starting spot just like the Americans have to. There's 36 plus top Canadian players playing in the NFL, and there's a Canadian ratio. There's more than half the roster has to be Canadian players. Doesn't matter if they have no business of being on the roster or on the CFL team. Doesn't matter. That's exactly what it is. They're forced. They're handcuffed. They're dictated to who to put on their roster. They can't recruit the best players. Have you ever heard a league like that? Well, you see what's happening. That's why there's so many empty seats. Imagine if the NHL, the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball had a ridiculous ratio that wouldn't allow them to recruit the best players. You can't, the draft, Canadian draft's a joke. The top Canadian players don't even want to even go to the combine. They don't want to be drafted. They're going to the NFL. And there's so many going down there in practice rosters and training camps too. Even now, as we speak, the Canadian ratio has to go. You bunch of clowns. What's wrong with you CFL owners? What's wrong with you? You clueless? And Johnston, what's wrong with you? You haven't got a clue. Oh, you want to make the game the best, most entertaining. Well, my rule does that. And you need the best players on the field, okay, with my rule. And you need to get rid of the one-year contracts. It's killing the CFL. That's why you can't even sell jerseys. It's ridiculous. 36, 40 players, free agents in every team every year. Are you kidding me? How do you sell? You can't sell a league like that, you bunch of clowns. What the hell is wrong with you? You're on glue? What's wrong with you? You know? You're clueless. You're brainless. A 5-year-old could figure it out and run the league better than you are because you're nothing but it's all political. It's all politics, the CFL. The whole thing. Allowing the Canadian Players Association that have the majority of votes to run the CFL into the ground as a backup plan to the NFL. That's the CFL. And Glenn Souther, you gotta go. You got to go. Oh, yeah, I said my rule when I said my prayer. Oh, interesting. Oh, yes, Glenn Souther. You know why you said that? Because you couldn't come up with my rule. You're jealous. It's ego. You're pompous. Just like the rest of, just like everybody in the CFL Rules Committee. Same thing. And then the Brosy and Bosey. You know? Your hash pipe, hash mark rule. What a joke. My CFL Red Zone rule will eat it for lunch. And my CFL Red Zone rule's got to get out to all the younger generation sports fans that don't even watch the CFL, and all the NFL fans in Canada that don't watch the CFL, and sports fans in general don't watch the CFL. You know how big that market? That's a mass market, you bunch of clowns. You don't know anything about numbers. You don't know anything about data because you would adopt my CFL Red Zone rule. If you did, you know, instead you want what? All these easy chip shot field goals in the red zone. I've been seeing them every game. My rule's there every game. They're staring you right in the eye, the CFL. Just waiting to be adopted, you bunch of clowns. My CFL Red Zone will blow your Randy Ambrosey gimmicky little hash pipe, hash mark rule out of the water and guaranteed an 18% increase of 50 more touchdowns scored in the red zone amongst 9 CFL teams on an average, of 54.8%, which I don't think they're doing now. And last year they might have, that's about what they average. And at that average, if the third down's needed, okay, at that average, okay, on third down, there'd be 50 more touchdowns scored in the red zone, my Spiders for a red zone enforcement rule, because on third down, if needed, they'll be playing exciting CFL 3-down football in the red zone to score a touchdown. And if they're stopped in the red zone and not forced outside the red zone and maintain possession of the ball, okay, they get Spiders CFL red zone rule kick, or Spiders red zone rule kick from the 35, the 7. That's a 42-yard kick. That's a challenging kick, okay, because you can't have them because my CFL red zone rule is enforcement rule. So if they're in the red zone on third down, they need to go for it to score a touchdown. So where's the enforcement rule? Then if they maintain possession of the ball and they're not forced outside the red zone, they get Spiders CFL red zone rule kick. And it's not 4 downs, you bunch of clowns. It's not 4 downs. Okay? Okay? It's an enforcement rule as well. The CFL red zone kick, Spiders CFL red zone is an enforcement rule as well. They have to kick for 3 points from the 42. Okay? So I mean, and it still preserves a 3-down game of football. Remarkably preserves a 3-down game of football in my Spiders CFL red zone rule. And by the way, you know something? The NFL can't steal my Spiders CFL red zone rule because unequivocally it will not work with 4 downs, but work naturally and perfectly with 3 downs. Like it's tailor-made and meant for, like perfectly tailor-made for our CFL 3-down game. It's a natural. It's a game changer, and it needs to be adopted. So you need the Spiders CFL red zone rule. My Spiders CFL red zone rule needs to be adopted. Can you imagine how big that would be? And by the way, go on my Facebook page. You want to see all the 10 key selling features and benefits of my Spiders CFL red zone rule. They'll blow you away. And all the advantages too, justifiable advantages of why it should be adopted. Not only from the entertainment value side, but the business side as well. Like, there's stunning numbers and data to prove why it should be data that will blow you away. And the key selling features and benefits are compelling. They're powerful. Like Steve Armitage, who's done 27 Grey Cups, knew a lot about CFL football. When I introduced him my Spiders CFL red zone rule, he said it was brilliant. He said, Spider, he says, the CFL has to realize that they're selling entertainment and excitement, and that's exactly what my Spiders CFL red zone rule will do. Okay? And another thing, it'll attract the younger generation sports fans. It'll attract all the NFL only fans. It'll attract all the sports fans in general that only watch the NFL. It'll attract them all to because my Spiders CFL red zone rule is that powerful. It will be the biggest rule ever adopted by the CFL in the history of CFL and probably of all professional football. You know why? Because with my Spiders CFL red zone rule, it puts a real spotlight on a third down and a real signature on a CFL 3-down game of football. And it makes it a more important down and a more exciting down in the red zone than the basically automatic 4th down touchdown in the red zone for the NFL. It's a given, right? And by the way, 4 downs in the NFL with the little tiny wee little field, by the way, that's 48% smaller than our field, and their 10-yard end zone, 55 wide, imagine 100 between the goal lines. So you do the math, 65 in the CFL wide, 110 long, 20-yard end zones, it's 48% larger. Do the math, it's 48% larger our field, okay? And by the way, there's 4 downs, it's just too many downs. In their little end zone, little tiny outdoor arena, I call outdoor arena football, NFL outdoor arena football field, and two down football stops resulting in another boring, predictable, non-eventful, easy chip shot field goal, like my banner there, and in the bottom is this chant loud in the red zone. We want SPYDER CFL red zone roll. You can't see, it's cut off there. Anyway. 2 down football stops, they're playing 2 down football in the red zone like they do in the CFL, okay? You see it all the time. And the only time they go for it's 1 yard line. They don't go for it in the 2, the 3, the 4, 5, 10, the 20, they don't go for it. They kick another easy chip shot field goal, okay? So 2 downs in the red zone, playing 2 down football in the CFL, it's too few downs. 4 downs in the red zone, basically, because that's what they're doing. If they're in the red zone in the NFL, it's too many downs, and 3 downs is the ideal, perfect amount of downs to be trying to get a touchdown in the red zone in the game of professional football. And that's what SPYDER CFL red zone rule will do. It will deliver. It's a game changer. It's naturally tailor-made for a CFL 3-down game of football, and it's the perfect, ideal amount of downs, okay? And it's the unpredictability too with my CFL red zone rule, because not only offensively it's a super exciting, entertaining feature. Imagine, playing always exciting 3-down football in the red zone with SPYDER CFL red zone rule if the 3rd down's needed in the CFL. But also, there's an invigorating plot, because defensively it can be just as big defensively and just as exciting, because if they stop a CFL team playing with SPYDER CFL red zone rule on 3rd down in the red zone in the CFL, then they prevent a touchdown from being scoring. But even a bigger defensive play, a monstrous defensive play, if they push a CFL team outside the red zone, okay, and prevent it, SPYDER CFL red zone rule kick. Also, too, on 3rd down in the red zone, they can stop them or they can intercept. It would be a fumble, turnover, whatever. And they won't get SPYDER CFL red zone rule kick as well. They got to maintain possession of the ball, and they can't be forced outside as well. Okay? But that's it in a nutshell. That's how powerful and how innovative and how super exciting and the entertainment value is over the top. I mean, it would take our CFL 3-down game of football to a whole new level, okay? And it would make a lot of money in merchandising. Imagine all the CFL red zone rule merchandising. You can tag the red zone with SPYDER CFL red zone rule tags with company sponsors, okay? The betting in the red zone with SPYDER CFL red zone rule, okay? The merchandise, hats and sweat, everything, all the merchandise you could sell with SPYDER CFL red zone rule. It's a very lucrative, the branding of it too, like opportunity for all CFL teams and owners to make a lot of money in the CFL. I mean, and it would, the rule would be unbelievable. It will be the biggest rule ever adopted with the CFL and in all professional football. And it will be a bigger down than the NFL 4-down in the red zone with SPYDER CFL red zone rule. That's how big it would be. It'll be a game changer. No, seriously, it'd be gigantic. It would be a huge selling feature to sell CFL 3-down football. And I'll tell you what, it would make all CFL stadiums soar and roar. All CFL stadiums soar and roar with SPYDER CFL red zone rule and pack them all. All those empty seats would be packed. The drama, the excitement in the red zone with playing with SPYDER CFL red zone rule at a CFL game would be electrifying, would be superb. I have to get this in there because it's so important. I have to pitch on. And by the way, You know, I've been listening to my radio blitz and everything, and I'm getting to a point that the commissioners had time enough, and I'm gonna start my blitz, and I'm gonna let you know when that's gonna start happening on radio. I know who the first one I'm gonna pick, and if that works out well, it's gonna catch on fire, and I'm gonna go right across Canada. Seriously, you'll see, but it's gonna happen. It needs to happen. I need to find a way to get my SPYDER S You Tube red zone rule out there, and anything you can do. And by the way, Mr. McLeod, I hope you still come back and watch. You know, and McDonald, Brad McDonald, please come back, and all you people, leave comments, please. Leave comments. I'll read some of your comments. I'll try to leave them, and I'll try to read some each time. Okay? I want to start doing that. And now I can Chromecast and put video up, and I'm not doing one this time because I just wanted to ad-lib and talk to you. Really, I just wanted to talk to you. But, you know, these are the things that have to be done. And also, the CFL, Canadian Player Association, needs to be brought down and abolished. They got to bring them down. And screw TSN. They're not doing the CFL any favors. Listen, bring them down. Get rid of the Canadian ratio. Get rid of the one-year contracts. Make them practice a minimum 6.5 hours a day. Bring in SPYDER CFL Red Zone Rule. Do a much better job selling CFL 3-down football. Like I'd have a CFL football day, all day, CFL day. The minor league football of Canada, CFL 3-down football day of Canada. Like have minor football, high school football, university, everything. You know, like do it before Labor Day, whatever, or do it after Labor Day. You know, Thanksgiving weekend. Like, that would be a good time to do it. University football's back in, but that would be a good thing to do. I really do. I think the Stampede Bowl did well. I think there's going to be other bowls. You should have the Ottawa Red Blacks playing the Montreal Alouettes on Labor Day for the Rouge Bowl. Yes. So get that out there, okay? And get SPYDER CFL Red Zone Rule out there. If we had a CFL team, I'm going to talk about it next time. It's never going to happen. I'll tell you why. We could have another Labor Day Classic and call it the Lobster Bowl. I came up with that one. It would be good. BC Lions Coast to Coast Bowl would be well too, and the Halifax Schooners, but Atlantic Schooners. Sorry. But anyway, I'm excited, and there's a game tonight, and like the protocol is ridiculous, and Adams wanted to go back in, but of course, you know, like Ambrosi with all his woke leftist stuff, you know, it's just all bullshit, you know, like and players say all that is way overboard. There's nothing wrong with Adams at all, but they did the protocol. They keep doing protocols on him. You know, I don't see where he even got hit. You said that they stopped him from going back in, and that cost him the game against Montreal. They would have went in first place. They screwed him. They want to screw the Stampeders, but I know, I hate to say it, but you know, Vernon Adams is weak. I mean, he seems to be weak. He's injured a lot. He's small. He needs to be protected. And there again, there's where you got to be able to recruit the best O-linemen, not Canadian guaranteed ratio O-linemen. Like I see them all through the CFL. They're not good enough. The money they're getting paid, $200,000. They're not even good enough to be on a practice roster. They're not good enough to be on a practice roster. I'm getting half in a bag, drinking half a beer. Oh God, I went through a tough day today. I had oxidization on my siding. I did it all these lines, like someone like drew a pencil all over it, but it was markings, like all this crazy stuff. And I figured out I had to get up there 6:30 in the morning at my garage side of my house, and like the back side of my garage, and oh my God, I come up with a solution: vinegar with water, sponge it down, all gone. I was so happy. Thank you, God. Okay, you know. Anyway, so like I'm glad I used the old Naga, I can't even talk. I'm having the bag now. I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm even doing this, getting through this. Okay, I'm sorry, but like I'm alive. Spider's alive. He got his hair cut. It even was shorter than that. I got my hair cut. My God, I got scalped. Yes, I got scalped. I did. I got scalped. I got scalped. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys all. Please, you know, I haven't done anything updates to my Facebook page. I've been talking to my son about it. We got to do something, get some more stuff updated there on it. And I'm going to keep you informed on the Blitz. I got to get back. I'm going to be back way early in 2 months, okay? My sister's coming home with her husband, so I got that on August 11th. So anyway, so I got to spend time with them and so forth. But I'm not going to wait 2 months. It's going to be a lot quicker than that. I like to do it every 2 weeks. That's what I like to do. That's what I said before. And I'm going to come back at you with another one about the Halifax. I'm going to do 2 back-to-back. What's going on with the stadium situation, the Wanderers grounds. It's coming up for a big discussion at council. Radical leftist, woke socialists there. Druggies all over our streets and everything. That's, they've destroyed Halifax. I'm not going to really get into that, but I told you that before. They have destroyed the city. Anyway, so I'm going to come back at you right away, back to back. I'm going to do a thing on what's going on with the stadium in Halifax. So, because I know what's going on, I can tell you exactly what's going on. So I'm going to be signing out. I'm coming right back at you. I hope my battery lasts, so I'm a little worried about it, but we'll see. I got to do a loose tube for you. Okay, sorry about that. I calmed down and everything. Do some comments and subscribe. I need subscribers. I never asked. When I used to get 500 views, and by the way, I'm going to keep this set. I'm going to get into that when I start my next one. And I'll tell you why, and the cameras and everything, I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. As soon as I sign off here, I'll tell you why, because I was looking at buying a camera and everything like that. I'm telling you why I'm sticking with what I'm sticking with and why I'm doing it. So, Spider, here comes Spider, CFL Reds are rolling. I'm back at you with another one, okay, on the Halifax situation with the stadium, with the Wanderers, and the Derek Martin CPL, little Mickey Mouse fabricated little modular stadium that they're going to build for him. Right back at you.